All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Jump Podcast, where we talk about the jump from high school to college sports and college to the pros. Today, I'm here with Oregon State linebacker Jabari Odoemenem. Welcome on the podcast.
Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you.
All right, so I just want to start off talking about you've made that jump now in the transfer portal 3 different times. This is your third team. Talk to me a little bit about that process.
It's a lot. I ain't gonna lie. It's not like a easy process, it's just having that, just mentality just to you bet on yourself, Starting off at Maine, I played as a freshman and then went into my sophomore year play. So I just felt like, I could play in a, better football. So I went to Duquesne, I had a great season there, great coaches, great brotherhood over there, and then, transferred to Oregon State, and then, yeah, it's the money year.
Yeah. You're a junior?
No, I'm junior right now, going to my senior year.
Gotcha.
Yes, sir.
You're a fan of the transfer portal? Because there's a lot of people that don't like it?
Um, um, I don't know. I can't really like, what I'm saying, really like I can't really like take a yes or really say which one I want because I'm all for staying at the school you want or the school you're at and just building your legacy there. But I'm also for betting on yourself, and then taking that shot and just knowing your abilities and what you're capable of. So yeah.
You said betting on yourself. Does that mean the transfer portal is a huge risk?
Yes, it is. Because sometimes it's some guys who hit the transfer portal and don't get opportunities, and there's some guys who do get opportunities. So it's just because it's not just you that's in the portal. It's like 3,000 other players in the
Yeah.
portal. So that's a lot of tape. A lot of coaches got to go through, and you got to have a good enough tape, to make these coaches want to come get you, especially the big schools.
Yeah.
So yeah.
In a past episode I had Dylan Lane on, and he was talking to me why he went to Oregon State because it was close to home where he's from,
Mhm.
right? Why did you come to Oregon State?
I really came to Oregon State because heard Coach Shep was coming to Oregon State.
Yeah.
He recruited me here. Coach Dennison, what I'm saying, great guys. Just wanting to, try something new,
Yeah.
I went to Maine before, like I said, that's on the top of the East Coast for real.
Yeah.
And then, why not come to the West Coast? I also saw it as, a lot of people from my city and where I'm from, don't get to experience things like this,
Yeah.
So playing great football in the Pac-12 and, just being on a great coaching staff, is just, what I'm saying, why not come play for you? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
When you're in high school, do you know that you wanna go play college football? Like, is that all you ever thought about? Or did you ever think about, like, a backup option?
nah, it was never no backup option. I knew I wanted to play football since I came out the womb,
Yeah.
dreams in NFL, so it's just no backup option.
If you could go to any NFL team, what would it be?
A lot of guys gonna hate me for this one, but my team is the Giants, so
Wow.
yeah,
They're
I'm gonna go to the Giants.
hey, they got a pretty good team coming up.
Yo, John Harbaugh, let's do it. Let's
Nah,
do
I'm
it.
a Ravens fan, so I miss Harbaugh. And you guys took likely one of our
Yo,
tight ends. I
took them
mean,
all. I ain't gonna lie, and we took what's his name, Pat Ricardo too.
yeah.
Yeah, we took all y'all players, bro.
I mean,
We
we'll
needed
still be better. Shout out the Ravens.
him.
Jackson Dart's not ready.
He's ready. I ain't gonna lie. If we get leaked back this year, which I think he might, but I don't know, he might just sit it out. We gonna be crazy. I ain't gonna lie. It's gonna
He's
be,
good.
you know what I'm saying? Leak is good.
He's good.
Leak is good. And I forgot what receiver we just signed. I feel like we signed another good receiver, but I really want to drive Jordan Tyson though.
Yeah.
I want to drive Jordan Tyson.
Scadaboo's a dog.
Scadaboo's a dog.
Yeah.
Scadaboo's a dog, and we just had, I think Dom Tracy went for another 1,000 yard all purpose
Yeah.
season. So we got something building in New York. So
Why New
yeah.
York?
Really, I don't know. It was just really I saw a game one time. This is when Victor Cruz was playing.
Yeah.
And then, when he was wearing 3 and stuff. So I kinda fell in love, not fell in love, but just loved the organization. And then,
Yeah.
like, yeah, like just Giants. I don't know. Like everybody be bandwagoning
Yeah.
Chiefs, Eagles,
No.
and Seahawks, and I like, nah, I'm a Giants fan. Like,
No one likes the Chiefs.
man, you'd be surprised. You'd be
And that-
surprised.
yeah. What do you think of Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelsey, all coming back?
Um,
You
I
think
ain't
they'll
gonna
still be
lie.
good? Because I mean,
I
they
ain't gonna
were.
lie. Well, Pat Mahomes coming off what, ACL?
Yeah.
So it's gonna be, I don't know, because some guys come back and be better off of injury, and some guys come back and be, I don't know, off of injury. So I feel like they're gonna be all right.
Yeah.
If I were the Chiefs though, you know what I'm saying, I would probably tell Pat Mahomes sit another year, just to make sure his knee, because
Yeah.
he signed what, a 10-year, 5-year deal or
Yeah.
something like that. So, like he he should sit another year probably, you know what I'm saying? Make sure his knee really good, and then yeah.
I mean, he's got the best doctors in the world, though. He
He
probably was
does.
walking the next day after he tore it.
He probably was.
I mean that's crazy because that's a huge like competitive advantage. You know, like some of the younger guys who are on the come up and
Yeah,
tear their ACL or something like that.
yeah.
You know, I feel like you get lucky being one of those top athletes. Tell me a little bit about Corvallis. What do you like to do here?
Um, some of the things I like to do, it's a lot of nature out here. That's something I'm not used to being
You a
from the
big
East
nature
Coast.
guy?
I don't like to say I'm a big nature guy, but we have okay weather here sometimes. Like when it's sunny, it feels nice to be outside. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
It's
Makes
because
sense
you
to be
never get
outside.
the sun.
Exactly. So whenever it's nice outside, I like to go outside, just walk around, just thank God for just all this nature. So that's one of the things I like to do. And I'm a big gamer. I like to play games a
You a
lot.
big gamer? What do you play?
Yeah, Madden and NCA.
What's better? That's one of my rapid fire
I
question
ain't
at the
gonna
end, but we'll
lie.
answer it right now. Man, don't say Madden. They suck.
NCA.
EA does not care about Madden at all. They make the worst
They
game, the same
do.
game every year.
But, like, Madden is just, like, it's more realistic, though. NCA, you will have, like,
Stop it. Stop it. Because in Madden, I'll be throwing an out route or I'll be throwing a slant to 99 overall JSN and he'll drop it.
but, like, okay, in the NCA will have you will have the quarterback sacked in the pocket and he somehow escape it and
Yeah,
throw a
that'd be
bomb.
happening. That'd be happening.
Like,
That'd
come
be
on now, like, come on. So, I like NCA, I ain't gonna lie. Me and my
Yeah. Well, you
homies,
could play. You could play yourself, no?
literally, well, in the next
In
game,
the next game, because
yeah.
I heard they're bringing FCS to the next one, though, allegedly.
If they do that, I better be at Duquesne.
Oh,
They
really?
better have my Duquesne player, and if they do that,
Yeah.
they better have my Duquesne player. EA, they better do that.
Hey, EA.
Do that.
What do you think about this upcoming season? Because Oregon State's now joined in the Pac-12. You know, you got a whole new rivals. I mean, obviously, you don't play Oregon anymore. I'm sure that's if
That
I
was a
came to
bummer,
Oregon
I
State,
ain't
that's
gonna
what
lie.
I would be looking
That
forward
was a
to.
bummer, I ain't gonna lie. When I first heard about that, I think it was the Civil War
Civil
game.
War, yeah.
Yeah, when we found out, well, really was when word got out that we weren't playing them this year. I was kinda like, "Dang," like,
Yeah.
that was one of the games I was looking forward to, but, we got 2 tough well, really not 2 tough games. We got 2 games to start off the season, at Houston and at, Texas home versus Texas Tech. So,
Ooh,
our team this year, I feel really confident in our team this year. We got a
yeah.
lot of guys from the transfer portal, experienced guys, playmakers. So, just building off of that, and we got some of the best coaches and, coaching strength and conditioning staff in the country. So, I'm really confident what our guys are about to do this year. So, yeah.
What can we as fans expect? Well, actually, I'm not an Oregon State fan, but what can the Beaver fans expect from this upcoming season?
Just winning games with class, integrity, and academic excellence. So, just
Ooh,
that's just expect that. I ain't gonna say too much more. Just know that.
academic excellence. You got a
Yep.
good GPA?
Yep. 3.5.
3.5.
Dean's list.
Oh, okay. So here's some personal questions I have to ask about the transfer portal. How do you keep those relationships, man? Like, can you like girlfriends or like friendships, family? You're always like,
Um,
I mean, you've moved a little bit.
yeah. So really, I'm really big on just like keeping my circle tight.
Yeah,
Not letting the outsiders come in and voice their like just what I'm saying, be outsiders. So I'm really big on keeping my circle tight and just worrying about the things that matter and controlling the things I can control. So when it comes to all the distractions, like, I don't really pay attention to that
yeah.
stuff, yeah.
But do you still like, for example, at Duquesne, you still got a lot of buddies there? You still
Oh,
talk to
yes.
them?
Yeah, every day, talk to them every
They
day.
weren't mad at you for leaving? Because my thing's
Nah,
kinda like, if we transfer, like, in high school, say, like, our rival school, man, they would be
yeah,
pissed at us, but if you go to, like, a different school, they think of it more as, like, okay, like, he's stepping up, he's making that jump to the next level for a
yeah.
bigger opportunity, or he's leaving us?
Nah, it's really just, me just making that jump to the next level for a better opportunity, just all the guys, I would be happy for them if they did
Yeah,
the same thing, it was no bad love right there, the guys wanted me to do it, I
yeah.
didn't when I was at the camp, I really didn't know if I really was gonna hit the portal, just having that just overthinking, just I don't know, I wasn't really confident, but, just having the guys, supporting me was a big part in that too.
What do coaches think?
Um
I mean, you ever talk to your Duquesne coaches or your main coaches?
when it was I told my coaches, my head coach at my last school about hitting the portal, he was pretty understanding of it because I just had a amazing season.
Yeah,
So he kind of understood where it was coming from. He just wished me the best of luck. I love that man. Jerome Schmidt, that's my guy to
yeah.
this day. So and my guy Coach Jacobs, to him too. So just those guys, man, just nothing but love for them.
So here's the thing, in my opinion, So you just said the coach expected you to kind of,
Yeah.
go on your way because you had a great season.
Mhm.
So now, can you build a great program? Because, a lot of teams talk about, you just need a group of great guys who all play together like
Mhm.
family.
Yeah.
But is it college football is kind of now like you get a bunch of new players every year, and then it's
Yeah.
like, that they might just leave if they have a better season,
Yeah.
unless you're at like the top, like a Bama or like a Georgia.
Mhm.
But at these smaller schools, is it harder to build a great team? Like, be a tight-knit group of guys?
I mean, in some cases it is, but in some cases it's not, really it's just how the culture is already established in there, So when you have guys that are coming in who might be guys that play for a year and leave, it's just what can you do about that,
Yeah,
that's just the reality of college sports nowadays. So really just, just sticking to the plan, just sticking to the process and trusting the process.
yeah.
So that would be my answer to that.
Do you think college football is like the pros? Because I think it is.
I mean,
I think it's
yeah,
becoming kind of a joke, honestly. I mean, and
it's
I think college football is the best sport in the world,
yeah, yeah.
And watching these contracts and deals,
Mhm.
and even like you just said, coaches expecting to leave. Coaches are like GMs now, athletic
Yeah,
managers,
yeah. Um, I would say, um, in some aspects, it is like the pros in terms of like how we practice, how we train,
Yeah,
our nutrition, just our everyday, things. Is very much like the pros. But I mean, I don't really like. I don't know. Like, I don't really like. I think it's just college football.
yeah.
Just college
You
football,
don't
college
think about
football.
it like deal wise and
Yeah,
like money
I
wise.
don't because like it's just like all the money and stuff that's short term.
Yeah.
Like get to the league and then make long term money, have long term success. So that's how I really see that.
What happens with the kids that are making like $5 million on contracts? You think they know how to balance their money? You think they have like finance guys, or do you think they just blow out all their money? They're like, okay, I'm gonna go buy my mom a house off rip, and then they don't go anywhere, tear the ACL, and then
I feel like majority of the guys who have that type of money in college now, I feel like they have like a good, support system
yeah,
and financial system. So I don't think they're just blowing their money because
yeah.
you gotta pay taxes, you gotta pay, you know what I'm saying, you gotta pay your actual bill, you gotta pay your rent, you know what I'm
Hey, he's
saying?
paying taxes, the IRS. I just want to let you guys know.
So, yeah, you just gotta, yeah, I think those guys have, just great support staffs and great
Yeah,
support systems, just help them and guide them through. Especially because you have kids now who making $1 million at
yeah.
17 years old. So, just have them having, they of course have like a great support staff and a great, you know what I'm saying, family system.
Show that watch to the camera, man.
Nah,
You gotta
this
make a
ain't
little
like
bit
that.
NIL.
Nah,
How
this
do
ain't
you
like
do it?
that.
How do you stay financially responsible?
My parents, I have my parents, my parents help me a lot.
Yeah,
They've been preaching to me about money since I was a little one.
yeah,
So just saving my money, it's just, it's always gonna be there. The things I want right now is always gonna be there when I'm older.
yeah,
So saving my money and just investing it and then just, just treating my body. So
yeah.
just being smart with my money too, not being making smart purchases.
How is it when you come to a new school like Oregon State, for example? Do you bond with the guys immediately?
Yeah.
Like, how does that work? Because there's so many guys in a college football roster,
Yeah.
Like, do you just become friends with the linebacker group?
Yeah.
How does that work? How do you make friends so fast?
Really is just, just like just everybody's background,
Yeah,
like somebody telling like we'll have like days where like guys are we just sit around, we just hang out with each other and we just telling stories, that's how I feel like that's the how you connect and bond with people faster,
yeah,
just find this common, it could be some that was troubling back in the past that y'all have in common or something that was like, a family member or something like that. It's just little things like that, just getting to understand people more and, having those conversations with people, that's how we really bonded quick. I would say for me, I click with a lot of guys here fast,
yeah,
so it's just, just I love them boys too. I love my teammates,
yeah.
man. So, yeah,
I feel like, well, from a fan perspective, a lot of guys, like we said earlier, are going just for that stepping stone piece, to make it
yeah,
to a bigger college football
yeah,
aspect. And I feel like, what if they are kind of selfish? What if these players like aren't really focused about the team? They just want
mm,
to, make that stepping stone process.
yeah.
Can you tell that as a player perspective? Can you tell when someone comes in, you're like, hey,
Uh,
like they
Um,
might be using this, they don't really want to be friends with us. Like,
I mean, Yeah, but you don't really like that that type of stuff, usually wears off on people, once they
Yeah,
start to see the trajectory of the team and how well the team's doing, So it's never no I in team, no individual,
yeah,
no team. So, especially here at Oregon State, everybody we're all connected. Like we all eat lunch together, breakfast
yeah.
together, like it's all unified. We're all diverse, it's all unified. So we moving as one. So, I feel like just if teams have guys like that, it's not no panics, not no nothing. It's just, sometimes some guys are just that's just how they is. Like,
Yeah.
especially transferring to a new program, that's just how they are. So, what I'm saying, just bearing with them and just, being welcome and stuff. So
Feel like taking that jump to the transfer portal would be such like a scary thing, you're like moving far away,
yeah,
you gotta meet all new guys.
yeah,
And what if a coach my thing is you get a call from a coach, right?
yeah,
And he's like, "Man, like you're the best athlete in this portal. Like we need you to come." You go there, he
yeah.
doesn't give you a shot. He doesn't play you.
Um,
Does that happen a lot more than we know?
I mean, unfortunately, yes, it happens. But it's not I would say personally on that, when you're in the portal, it's just, just building relationships, building meaningful relationships, not
Yeah.
transactional relationships,
Yeah.
like
When you mean transactional relationships, what do you mean?
just just the you see guys making all this type of money in college, all that's like transactional money,
Yeah.
transactional relationships. So I would personally say just build an actual relationship, like actually get to know who you're talking to,
Yeah.
like get to know your coach, like really understand his background and where he's from, and then understand why he's recruiting you and what he wants and how you will fit in the system, so not everything is about money in this. So
And you really feel like Oregon State
yeah.
really you fit well with them.
I felt really well with Oregon State and how Coach Shep just really came in especially when I came on my official visit with my mom. He
Yeah.
he made it clear on what his intentions were, and with this team, with the state, with this program, with just everything. So I'm very thankful for him and just giving me opportunity, to come here and really just prove something.
Can we expect a first year Pac-12 championship? That's the goal, right?
Yes, sir. That's
Because
the
Dylan
goal.
was talking about the goal was making the
Good.
playoffs.
Now we're gonna get the playoffs and the Pac-12 championship.
All right.
Both. We
Who's
getting
one
both of
team
them.
that you want to play in the Pac-12 the most? Game you're looking forward to the most next season?
The game I'm looking forward to the most next season is for sure our first one and Texas Tech. Just being at home in the crib, we need
Yeah.
everybody there. Everybody needs to be there. Everybody, the whole
Yeah.
state need to be there and they get loud. But in the Pac-12, for sure, Washington State. I
Washington.
guess I guess it's a little rivalry
Little
going
rivalry
on,
now.
and I guess the defensive coordinator here last year went to be DC there, so
Yeah.
it's gonna be kind of fun playing them guys. And
That's your
yeah.
guys' rival now. I would always feel like Boise State would be the cool one to go to play on that
Yeah.
blue field.
Yeah, that's gonna be pretty cool, I ain't gonna lie. Colorado State gonna be different too though, I ain't gonna
Really?
lie. Yeah, those guys are nice, I ain't
These
gonna
guys are
lie.
nice.
Those guys are nice.
What do you think of prime time?
Prime time, Coach Prime?
Yeah.
Yeah, great coach, man.
Great coach.
He's just very big on discipline.
Yeah.
And that's just him. So, it's just great coach.
Even though his son flexes money around and his lo this is
Hey,
his signature. I mean,
that's him.
that's
That's
him.
him. That's what makes him him.
That Texas Tech game, you talk
Yeah,
about that. Texas Tech is a really strong program that just
yeah,
made it to the playoffs last season.
yeah.
How can you guys beat that team?
Just doing our job every play, everybody doing their 111, and just being disciplined.
Yeah.
And the plays that are gonna come, you gotta make them, with teams like that. So just gotta be ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another question I have is, as a player's perspective, money builds teams nowadays because you see
Yeah.
Oregon, they have Dante Moore. They also have Dylan Raiola, who
Yeah.
could start probably almost anywhere in the country, but is
Yeah.
going to be Dante's backup. If you Oregon has probably more money than most college football teams. Does that give them an advantage with
Um,
recruitment and all that?
yes and no.
Ooh,
I would say yes because money can buy some people. Money can buy happiness for some people. And I would say no because the guys who want to go to like say if Oregon is trying to get a guy and they trying to throw them this money, but this guy wants to go to his dream school, which is a
yeah,
lower school because he wants to go there but a legacy.
yeah.
That's the no part. So it's yes and no with that. It's yes and no with that.
Yes and no. See, because I feel like they do have a competitive advantage, but I also agree with you. You know, some guys really are true to the sport and want to go build their legacy. And also, you know, aren't really focused about that transfer portal. They're focused about building a 4-year legacy, you know?
Exactly. Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. Now we're going to do some rapid fire questions, but we're going to
Good.
keep it local to Corvallis, right? But
Let's
you're
do it.
new here, so we'll see.
Let's
What's
do
your
it.
favorite restaurant, Corvallis?
Sky High.
Sky High?
Yeah.
Best date spot in Corvallis?
I think it's like this little like pottery spot.
Little
Right.
pottery?
Yeah, I think it's right by Sky High, I think.
Really? You a big pottery guy?
I'm not a big pottery guy, but I do want to try it
Want
though.
to try it?
I do want to try it.
And I said Madden or NCAA. You said Madden, right?
Nah, NCA.
Yo, you said NCAA?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's the right answer. Madden's
Yeah.
horrible. All right, now we're gonna narrow it down: 2K or NCAA.
NCAA. I
Yeah,
ain't gonna lie. If you would have asked me that like probably like a year ago or 2 years ago, if NCAA was out right now, I'll say 2K.
2K.
But I bought 2K, but don't even play it. So
Oh
like
yeah.
I kind of feel like it's too many sweats on there now. I ain't gonna lie.
Are you a DoorDash guy or like a cooking guy?
DoorDash.
DoorDash, you're not a big cook.
Nah.
And Sky High's the place of DoorDash.
Nah, well, I usually go there red card.
Yeah. Oh, red card.
Red
Man, red
card.
card's like a cheat code. You guys,
It
how
really
and
is.
so they just give you balance. If red card, if you don't know what I'm talking about, and well, what I think it is they give athletes a certain amount of balance so they can use for food
Yeah.
in town.
Yeah. Yeah, Sky High. Really, I ain't gonna lie, I want to change it. I'll say Chipotle.
Chipotle,
I'm a big Chipotle guy.
burrito, or bowl.
Bowl.
Bowl. You're not a big burrito guy. I feel like
Nah.
burritos like taste better.
I go
What's the order?
Bowls.
What's the order?
I go double brown rice, black beans,
Yeah.
double chicken, queso. Then you go cheese,
Uh-huh.
guac, lettuce, and then what's the other one? Your cheese, guac, lettuce, and then pico, and then some vinaigrette on the side.
Ooh, you don't like corn? I like the corn
Oh,
there,
corn
man.
too. I'm
The
tripping.
corn's good.
I'm tripping. That's my fault. Corn too. I'm tripping.
You like Rivas? You ever had Rivas?
I've had Rivas one time. It was pretty good. I ain't
Pretty
gonna lie.
good.
It's pretty good.
What's your favorite spot? Do you ever go on the campus, you know?
So we eat in the cafeteria for breakfast
Yeah.
and lunch, and then but I don't really like. I know there's a Dutch Bros. I haven't tried yet. I really do want to try it.
Have you ever had Dutch Bros ever? No?
Nah,
That's huge here,
it's
man. You
good.
gotta get it's a little sugary. I think it
It's a
depends.
Dutch Bros right by my crib too.
Are you a big coffee guy?
Nah, but like, do they got like lemonade in
Yeah,
there?
they got lemonade. It's
I'll try it.
okay.
If it's some good lemonade, I'll
Yeah.
try
We
it.
got Chick-fil-A now.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A. Yo, bro, Chick-fil-A
Hey,
is my
shout out
thing, man.
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A is my thing. I ain't gonna lie. Chick-fil-A is my
What do you get at Chick-fil-A?
I go 2 large fries and an 8 count.
That's you big fry guy? Chick-fil-A sauce,
Yeah,
right?
bro. Hella Chick-fil-A
Hella
sauce.
Chick-fil-A? The
Hella
barbecue's
Chick-fil-A.
good too, man. Underrated.
No, I don't go no barbecue sauce. If I go Chick-fil-A, you will not see me with no barbecue sauce.
I'm a Chick-fil-A and barbecue guy. The barbecue's good. All right, and then one last thing for everybody. What's your biggest advice for upcoming athletes trying to make that jump into college or that are about to make that jump into the transfer portal?
Just stay true to the process. Stay true to the process. Keep your head down and working it, and just bet on yourself. Always bet on yourself. And that's just it. That's it.
Bet on yourself. I think it's a really strong piece for young athletes to hear. All right, guys, that's going to be a wrap on the jump today. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.